Markout Mania. Markout Mania. It's Saturday morning and we're marking out on Markout Mania.
Yeah.
Hola, amigos, and welcome to Markout Mania.
What's up, guys? What's going on? What's up, everybody?
Joining the brainchild of Pedro Boyd.
Yes.
Senior Boyd.
Senior Boyd. I like that, Zeus. I like that. How you guys doing today? You guys are good?
Good, man. You got a, we were talking about threads a little bit ago on Twitter. You know, you got that good one on during the Lucha Underground broadcast, Pedro.
I did.
Yeah, they retweeted one of your Rabbit Tribe tweets, and yeah, I think Killer Cross said something on it too.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Where he posted that picture of the clock pointing the rabbit pointing to the clock or the watch.
Yeah.
I am so waiting for Killer Cross to get into that ring.
Oh, I know.
I am so
be
ready.
Close. We're running. We're down a bunny.
Yeah. Speaking of bunnies, say goodbye to Mala Suerte. Rest in peace, R.I.P. Although he might come back, a la Jeremiah Crane. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeremiah Snake now. But that's a whole different story.
We haven't seen a sacrifice come back, though.
Yeah, true. So, what did you guys think of this week's Lucha Underground? I thought it was a fantastic episode.
It was one of the best episodes ever.
I totally agree, Zeus. Especially that opening vignette with Mariposa. Be still my beating heart, oh Mariposa. That was an awesome opening vignette.
Calm down, James. This is Lucha Underground, not TNA.
Oh, so my bad.
I mean, there was some of that going on, but
yeah. Here's who gets lost in that opening vignette. Actually, who was Papa Cueto talking to on the phone?
That's always a good question.
I think it was the people because he said something about my lord when he was hanging up, right?
Yeah.
So it must be the guy of the limousine guy.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. I don't know. We don't know. I mean, we have no empirical evidence. So
true. The only evidence we do have it was that $20,000 magically appeared out of nowhere, and we can only guess where it came from on Mariposa's body. You know, it just popped out. Here's 20 grand. Poof. No pockets, no problem. But that was a great vignette. That was a great vignette. Now, it sets up also, because it sets up, we're going to see Mariposa's father. Because there's a few times they've been talking about Mariposa's father. But the Moth Army's father. So, if you're going to get an appearance
by... We don't know whatever happened to him.
Right. Are we going to get an appearance by end season's end? Or, who knows,
The parents fight.
I would love to see. I would love to see the father. That'd be a great character.
I wonder who would play the Moth family like patriarch.
That would be. I don't know. That's a good question, Pedro. I don't know. I have to go on a talent search, star search. But it was a great opening. It was a great opening vignette, and then the first match, obviously, was a sacrifice. Oh, poor Mala Suerte. He will be missed, He will be missed.
I had posed a question last week. I got drafted into this group thing and I posted a question that would somebody be punished for the Rabbits not winning the trios titles again by the White Rabbit?
Mm-hmm.
And there may have been a little collusion, because Paul London was like, yeah, you fucked up, Mala.
Yeah, he saw the story coming. Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't surprised at all.
Mm-mm.
So.
Yeah, that's a good point, Zeus. That's a very good point, yeah.
Paul London is full on evil at the moment.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Once again, I don't know. I mean, it's dark, and they have a purpose, and they're definitely not good people, but I'd say that they're, that the whole Rabbit tribe is more of that insanity type of vibe, that they're so smart that they can't even process their own genius, and it gets garbled in the human brain.
I'll accept that theory.
Like this
I will accept that theory.
Sometimes,
yes.
So it's like it's not even like a true evil intent. It's more of like
it's just genius borderlining on insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, that's a good point, Zeus. Yeah, I would definitely go with that assessment. I would definitely go with that. Because he looked like he had it all. His mind was all made up already. Bye, Mouse. It's you. Here it is.
Yeah.
No, it's you. Go. He was all set, ready to give him up. So
yeah. I mean, there's definitely.
How about the Wrestling Society X sound effects?
Oh yeah.
in the match with Matanza. That was awesome. I was like Looney Tunes versus Lucha Underground. This is hot,
The kind of that the noise that always makes me think of Barney Rubble.
Barney Rubble.
Barney Rubble running.
Oh, yeah.
The Flintstones. Awesome cartoon.
Yes. It was very Flintstone-y.
Yes.
I didn't need that personally.
I want a Brontosaurus burger right about now.
Yeah. And then and then we've got this this whole thing where with Jack Evans being scared of snakes,
I'm not understanding that storyline. What's the whole point?
I think the point of it is to keep Jack out of the Worldwide Underground versus Reptile Tribe, so he can have this thing going on with Sunnylicious or Sunny XO, excuse me.
Exolicious,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't get the name right.
I see. I can see that. But it's like they're hammering it too much. You know what I'm saying? It's like okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's definitely. He's something that he's he's not crazy about, and I mean, I'd much rather have Jack with Worldwide Underground.
Oh, I would too.
From him, but we all sadly know how that's going to end somehow.
It's so weird to see the Worldwide Underground as faces, right? It's weird. It's weird because the whole crowd was cheering him. They were loving on him. Like all the believers were, they were just loving the Worldwide Underground.
Yeah, I mean, people aren't snake fans.
That's too bad. I love Cobra Moon.
I mean, I like them all, but you gotta look at what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll definitely get to that match later on. But how about Evilise and Exolicious as a tag team? That was awesome. That was such a great match.
Evilicious.
A striker said it. Yeah, Evilicious. Yeah.
Sounds like poisonous bubblegum.
Nice. Good job, Zeus. Good job.
You blow a bubble, it pops, and it emits a poisonous gas, you die.
I thought that was a great match. And you know what? I got to give props to my boy. Joey Ryan just kills it. He kills it. He's such a professional. He kills it. He kills
Joey
it.
likes it.
He's something.
You could put him. It doesn't matter who you put him with. He gets the other person over. He's such a professional. I mean that whole exchange with him and Exolicious, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. You know, I don't know if you want to call that move the butt slam or the butt lick, or I don't know what the hell you want to call the move, but it was over. Yeah. And the believers were loving it, and they were chanting, Joey likes it, you know? So it was great, man. It's great stuff. It was such a good match.
Exolicious is like, he's such a great addition to the show.
Oh, absolutely.
But definitely something, you know, that we haven't seen ever before. In the chat, Yuki-kun said Joey Ryan will turn gay for Exolicious.
Joey liked it.
Joey liked it. YYHH, what's up?
Shout out to Flues Maker in the chat as well.
Flues.
Flows? Flows
Joey
like a
Ryan.
Or Flows like a floozy?
Flues like a flouse? Is it like a flouse or is it like a floozy? I don't know.
He's your friend.
I always fuck up his name anyway. So my apologies, Flowers or Mr. Flues. My bad.
Lo siento, Flus.
Yeah. Lo siento. My bad. You guys like, will he ever get my name right? That stuttering bastard? No, I won't. Sorry. But, you know, I think Exolicious works perfectly in LU. He's so over with the fans already. I mean, you know, actually, him and E-Release work amazing together. Joey Ryan.
Not to mention just a legit wrestler.
Yes.
Dynamic.
Yes.
Dynamic. Has unique moves. Doesn't matter, you know, what you say about how you feel about his personality or anything. I mean, just straight up, you know, what you need in a wrestling group is someone that is a great wrestler first and foremost.
Absolutely.
And he definitely is that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he definitely knows what he's doing in that ring. You know, he looks so very comfortable in that ring. He does.
Like that axe kick to the throat. That's amazing. I love that. I mean, I've never seen that ever. Never seen anybody ever do anything. And some of the stuff he does is just outstanding. It's like, you know, and then you can, you know, and then you build that colorful personality off of that, and it's like, yeah, that's the perfect kind of thing that you want to have in Lucha Underground.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. He fits so well. He does. But it was a good match, man. All four had great chemistry together, you know.
And what about
you know, Evilise is that scorpion kick. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
that. Yeah.
I mean, she's got some outstanding moves, and when she's getting hurt, you know, you totally believe it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah,
it's like
she sells great. She can sell for me anytime.
I mean, it's almost like a cringy thing where you're like scared at any moment that, you know, she might get hurt again. You know, you know, and be out. You know, so it's like
her ankles are like paper.
Yeah. So I definitely. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, compelling story with her, I think. Mm-hmm. So, and of course, you know, it's always the last thing you want is somebody to get hurt.
Yeah.
You know,
of course, yeah. But I thought it was a great match. Yeah. I thought they all worked well together. I thought it told a great story. Everybody had their little moment in the ring. Exolicious totally kicked ass. So did Joey Ryan. I love Joey Ryan. He's the man. In my book, he's the man. I mean, he just kills it. He kills it every time.
We haven't mentioned Jack Evans much in talking about this, but Jack Evans, I think it's almost like we take for granted how amazing Jack Evans is.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Pedro, because everybody knows that he can go. Everybody knows that he's a master in that ring. So he puts everybody else over, and he makes everybody look fantastic. I mean, him and Exolicious in the ring together are pure gold. You know,
and when he wants to hit his moves, man, he does.
Oh yeah,
he hits everything on the button, spins, kicks, all that stuff is just outstanding.
Again, he's what we expect already. He's like, okay, if you put Evans in the ring, you're going to get a good match, regardless of who he's up against. Because he's putting the other person over. He sells everything. He's great in the ring. He's as YYH says, he's Lucha God. Hello. I mean, he is. He's awesome.
It says a lot.
I mean, that's one of the reasons. It's like he's worked so well with Angelico in the past, and and of course, PJ Black. PJ Black, Jack Evans, and Johnny Mundo as the trios champions was freaking. I mean, that's like a heaven sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't argue that, Zeus. You're absolutely right there.
I wanted to say real quick on the Jack Evans thing, his deal where he wouldn't let go of the hold, the
that submission.
Yeah.
And like EXO passed out, and then
that was a great finish, by the way. Yeah,
oh yeah,
it was a great finish.
I mean, that was great in that EXO's gimmick. Some people could be like, he's going to tap out easily.
He's so flamboyant, he gives up fast, right?
But
he did.
Like, it put him over. Like, he's flamboyant, but he's still a tough guy, right?
He did the Stone Cold gimmick. I passed off on the move,
And then when they kept it going, like even Joey Ryan's angry at Jack.
Again, it was such a great finish to a great match. It was great. It was great all around.
And then when Jack is saying afterwards, he's like, like, I want to keep it on until he's dead. Till he's dead. Yeah. The way the season has been going, I was like, like I take all these threats seriously now. Like,
no kidding. Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Zero and Melissa.
Zero, what's up? And Melissa. Hey. What's up, Melissa? What's going on? Yeah, he definitely had ulterior motives. Melissa. I totally agree. I think there's something up with him in XO. I don't know if it's borderline obsession. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Jack Evans and XO, but I think it could be a really good storyline. I think it could really develop. And again, if you put them two in a ring together, they're absolutely gold. They are absolutely gold in the ring. So you can't go wrong. Just can't go wrong.
No. Then we had Mariposa and Dragon Azteca Jr. for the gift of the Godfather.
The mighty Mariposa. Be still my beating heart. Oh. Mariposa just absolutely killed it. But first of all, who kicks out of the 450 splash? That was awesome, number one. Okay? I marked out at that moment alone. I was like, oh, yes! I didn't want the match to end, It was great. I think it props to Dragon Azteca Jr. though. He definitely sold a lot of stuff. It was a good match. They were both trying to hit their spots. It was good. It was good stuff. And the believers were totally into it
too.
Yeah,
he puts emotion into his promos. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like he's totally believable, and it's like, maybe whenever it's his time, to be the guy, I think he'll be ready.
He's a future world champion. You can see it. He's definitely being groomed.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got great ring work. He's good mic work. So he's definitely being groomed. And he put on a good match with Mariposa. I mean, it was a good match.
Very solid on both their parts.
Yes, absolutely. And it was good stuff. Kicking out of the 450 splash was awesome. Yeah, YYHS. Yes, I am in love with Mariposa. Yes, I admit that. Yes, I like girls in masks. There it is.
I mean, I guess that's that leads us to the big main event with the big wager on the line. The wish from the reptile tribe, or Johnny, bends down takes Cobra Moon as his,
As his queen.
his leader.
I was hoping to see Vibra back from the dead, but instead we got Jeremiah Snake.
Yeah, we got a different person back from the dead.
Yeah, in bad zombie makeup. Yeah,
I was not expecting that at all. I was like, what?
No, I wasn't either.
No, I totally wasn't expecting
that.
Done. Yeah, I thought he was done too.
Gone.
At first, I was like, oh. I was like, I got a letdown. And then also I get excited again. I'm like, you know what? He's Jeremiah Crane, man. He's going to kill it. I love Sami Callihan, so he just kills it. He kills it. I thought that was an exceptional match. PJ Black is fucking awesome.
Yeah. He really is. He's just that, he's just that guy. He can do anything.
And you know what? I can't believe that WWE had him and they let him go. Justin Gabriel. What a waste. What a waste.
Well, I mean, him
and Mundo, yeah.
But Brian Cage, I mean.
Yeah, that's right, Zeus.
A guy that's that muscular and athletic. I mean, that's definitely the kind of guy that, you definitely think that Vince McMahon, gets off on for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a shame. Because that's what happens. That's what happens when the WWE is too big for their own good. Because you have so much talent, and you absolutely don't know. You absolutely don't know. Well, I have nothing for him, so he goes. I have nothing for this guy, so he goes.
But it also, but yeah, it's other people feeling threatened.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because I mean, we know from years ago, from WCW, that a lot of guys are threatened by Jerry Lynn, so they never did a good match.
I love Mr. JL was the man. Come on,
they waited for him to leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Zeus. You're absolutely right. Come on, I mean, who didn't love Mr. JL? He was awesome under the mask,
Yeah. Still gotta ask him if that was Klingon on his tights.
I think it was. You know what? I think it was.
He's supposed to come to WrestleCade this year, so.
Oh, Zeus, you gotta ask him, buddy. You gotta ask him. You gotta ask him. Ask about that.
But anyway, and just like they're saying in chat, Dago was, he's really, really kind of coming into his own as well. I mean, I think he's looked better this season than he did, his first little foray into Lucha Underground.
Were you expecting anything less from Daga, though? I mean, honestly, everybody knows how good he is. It just hasn't been shown yet, and now it's starting to show. And everybody's like, "Oh, he's amazing." Yeah, no shit, he is.
Yeah.
I love that. There's one spot where they did this kind of Cobra Moon and Johnny Mundo did kind of a bulldog splat.
Out of the ring.
Yeah, it was both a bulldog and a dive out of the ring. That I love that spot.
Yeah, that was a good spot.
There was a lot of good spots in there.
Yeah.
I mean, Aerostar doing.
Aerostar.
How about Aerostar coming out with the Worldwide Underground Lucha bandana? Tell me that wasn't hot.
We've been waiting.
Tell me that wasn't hot. Fuck, somebody's gonna make a meme about that.
For Aerostar to appear this season, and he does, and it's Aerostar doing amazing Aerostar things. It's
and just and I was totally blown away by the motivation. It didn't hit me until the end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going because the Worldwide Underground had borrowed Marty before, and and so there you got Aerostar running with Worldwide Underground, and it's just really, why are it's at first
at first you went, huh? You know,
Yeah, and then it just
like,
and they work so well together. It's
hey,
just it was
it
crazy. It's like he's
was
been a member
perfectly together.
for
It went.
years.
It went so over with the believers was all going nuts. The whole Ice Temple was going crazy. Everybody was like, oh, "Yes, Aerostar with the Worldwide Underground, we love it." At first, we said, "What the hell?" And then we were like, "Yes, it can only get better." And you know, and everybody was going for Worldwide Underground. Everybody was marking out for the Worldwide. I was like, "Damn, man, the Reptile Tribe's getting no love. What's going on here? How can he not give love to Cobra Moon? I mean, she's Cobra Moon. Good
Cobra Moon's
stuff.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dagger's awesome.
I didn't see Justin in the crowd. I saw Mill a few times.
I saw Mill a few times. Yeah, he was up and about.
I didn't see Justin or Byron.
He was probably looking for a Zima. He was up. He was like, "I'm thirsty. Give me a Zima. Somebody quick, stat." But it was good stuff. It was a great match.
But that ending, you know, I would have liked a few more
Total
minutes
Divas
for Drago.
blows. That's how you do a proposal in the ring. Grab a ring. Grab an engagement ring, asking for the best man's crotch, and then give it to your chick. That's how you do it. That's hot. Come on.
That whole thing was smooth. The way the way Johnny Mundo worked off Taya's anger about him giving away the wish.
Yeah. She was legit pissed. I was like, "Look at Taya act. Go ahead, go girl." She was doing it.
She was very. I was like, wow, that's definitely a woman.
Yeah, she was pissed off, and then he was like, "There's one wish that Cobra Moon couldn't grant." I was like, "Oh, here we go."
She can't grant my wish.
I like a little wine with my cheese. Here it is, you know.
Yeah, and then he went, you know, completely Macho Man.
Yeah, dun, 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 dun.
John Cena got nothing on that proposal, let me tell you, because he's the Macho Man impersonation and everything, man. You can't beat that.
Well, you know, Johnny actually followed through on the proposal.
Oh shit! Damn, Zeus. I break up, we make up. We break up, we make up. We break up, we make. Get the hell out of here! This is how it's done, baby. This is how you do it. He picked her up like Miss Elizabeth and everything.
Just go do movies.
Yeah.
Just go do movies. Come in, talk shit to Roman once a year. I don't care.
Because everybody's dying for the Marine #9. Yeah, go ahead. You know, come on.
Hey, I want to bring up something really fast. So, Zero in the chat room. Okay, he has been posting some theories on Facebook about some.
I got to get back on Facebook.
He's been posting theories about stuff that he thinks is going to happen on.
Come on, man. He's a conspiracy theorist. Come on, man. Zero knocks it out of the park, man. He's got all kinds of shit.
He had some stuff about Johnny and Taya that I wanted to bring up. So I'm looking at his post right now on Facebook. So he says, Johnny and Taya. He talks about Johnny and Taya's happy ending. May not be so happy. And yes, this relates to yet another DC TV show. It's he did a post on another DC TV show. Funny, don't you think how it involves all the same aspects? A proposal and supposed happy ending, and most importantly, time travel. So my theory crafting is that Taya is going to die and Mundo will become desperate because Aerostar will not change time to save her. Thus, his desperation will lead him to the gauntlet to save her, but in turn sacrificing himself and dooming everyone, and only then will Aerostar have to change time. This was Zero's awesome theory.
I got to get back on Facebook just to follow Zero. I mean, this is awesome stuff. It's like a comic book. It's like a TV show. Is it the Flash? Are we doing the new and improved Flashpoint theory? That's hot.
I want to see this so bad. Zero, I want to see this so bad.
Yeah, come on, Zero. Come on, buddy. Come on, man. Make it happen, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I thought the match was great. I thought the Believers were totally into it. I thought the Ice Temple was rocking. It was good stuff. It was a good match. I love Ty. I love Cobra Moon. Even Daga, who did only a couple moves. You know, he didn't do anything too impressive, but he did his 1 or 2 moves off the top rope and bang, you know, it was good. It was great stuff. You know, you had the Macho Man proposal at the end, top of the shoulder. You know, you're doing a Miss Elizabeth gimmick. You know, yes. You know, it was awesome. It was good stuff. I think it was the best episode to date, honestly.
Let's not forget the evil Ricky Mandel stuff with the
evil
doll.
Ricky Mandel and that fucking doll. What the hell, man? It's creeping me out, bro.
Happily to the end.
Yeah, it's totally creeping me out. It's like the Bride of Lucha, you know? Come on. It's a creepy doll, man. I'm loving it. Everything's working, man. All the storylines are clicking. All the matches are happening for a reason. Everything has a purpose, and I love it when it actually. I mean, even though it's a contradiction, but I actually love it when the wrestling show actually makes sense. You know, and it does. It makes sense.
You mean they actually carry story to the end?
Yeah, picture that, Zeus. Picture that. Yeah. It actually makes sense, you know.
They'll just switch things in the middle and just we've got to put this person over. So
this is a Vince Russo booking.
Let's have somebody that we've been building up for 3 months as a face. Let's flip flop her over to being a bitch again. Just to get this one person over.
Exactly.
I'm not saying
I love it.
Particular.
No, of course not. Well, why would we? But I love it when shit makes sense, and it makes sense. And I love that. I love the whole thing with Aerostar freeing Drago. That was awesome. I mean, that's great stuff, man. And he's like, everybody was into it. I was into it. I was like, yes, free Drago. I was like, yes. You know, he's no more a slave to the reptile tribe.
I've been saying free Drago since since they kidnapped him.
That should have been a hashtag movement for us, free Drago. You know that?
I've been doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, yeah, whatever.
Free Drago. He must be freed from the evil clutches of Cobra Moon.
That's right. So we can, stop confusing people in AAA.
Right. Wow. Zeus.
Sorry.
Fun. Really?
Hey, you know who I thought they were going to bring out?
Good point.
Who?
That I thought they were going to bring out Raptor.
Raptor,
from AAA.
Oh, yeah. That would have actually made sense. That would actually make sense.
Yeah, because he's been, he's teamed with Drago and Aerostar in AAA, and he's got a look that would fit, just about perfect in Lucha Underground.
That would have actually made sense. Yeah.
So.
I thought it was good stuff all the way around. It was a great episode. I'm just waiting for Killer Cross to get in the ring already. I'm tired of it. I can't even watch Impact because I'm having I'm having the debate with my cable company. I pay for a channel, but yet I'm not receiving it, so I can't watch Impact. And I'm just waiting for them to get in the LU ring.
Killer Cross murdered Eddie Edwards with a Saito suplex on Impact this week.
I had to go to my brother's house tonight and I have to binge watch all the Impacts. Brutal.
But, I mean, they're doing a great job, and they, overall, I mean, especially for them.
As soon as Impact get good, I can't watch it. It figures. I feel like Raw Truth right now. As soon as it gets good, something happens.
When Jericho shows up.
Oh, yeah, brutal.
Oh, my God.
Well, like I said, I would have liked a couple more minutes with Drago and Aerostar at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if they just go into a bar and drink a Modelo,
Actually, speaking of, hold on one second. Hold on.
Yeah, everyone get a sip of their Modelo. Mark Out Mania brought to you by Modelo.
Brought to you by the Breakfast of Champions, Modelo. There you go.
We are obliged to say
Oh,
you're
good
not
stuff.
really sponsored.
I'm four chiladas in.
Fortunatas in. Good job.
A shout out real quick to Insane Bob's Crazy Shack in the chat room.
Ah,
Insane Bob's Crazy Shack.
that sounds hot.
Markout Mania also sponsored
Welcome.
by Insane
Bob's Crazy Shack. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm sure they serve Modelo nice and cold. Oh,
Well, I'm looking forward to next week. So
it should be a good. It should be. I think because I think LU's finally hit its stride. I said this last week. Like I think everything is moving in the right direction. I think everything is flowing finally. Nobody notices anymore about how bad the lighting was, or the tempo, or the coloring, or the editing, or the pace of the matches, etc., etc., etc. Now, all of us are so engrossed in the stories, and that's what it's all about. All of us are so engrossed in the matches, in the matchups, and the vignettes, and the commentary, and all the St. Justin and Mill in the stands. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. That's how it should be. I think LU's hitting its stride right now. It's hot. It's definitely on a roll. It is definitely the most exciting hour on television, hands down. That's it.
yeah, with when we see Killer Cross walk back in, it's just gonna be pretty insane.
What? That place is gonna blow the he's gonna blow the roof off, right?
Oh yeah,
he's gonna blow the roof off that place. As soon as he walks into the ring, it's a wrap. It's over. That's it.
He's a nice guy too. I met him at WrestleCade 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's been on the Way Too Real party a few times. I mean, he's such a great interview. I mean, he's such a great guy. It's awesome.
Yeah. So, all right. So, shall we move on to the next segment?
Yes.
Do it.
To the theme, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So, wrestling is what wrestling is. It's not a real fight.
Really? No, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Bam.
And
but mommy, you said it was real. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
But I mean, that's there comes a point where you believed, if you bought into it when you were younger, and and you thought it was real, wanted to believe it was real, especially
I thought somebody actually named their kid Hulk Hogan. So there you go. So go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But I mean, it's like there's chinks in the armor sometimes for people, and then there's just big kick the glass in. You can't.
Right.
And once it's once that glass is shattered, you can't. You can't go back in. It's like kind of like the Matrix. You can't go back in after you
unplugged.
After they unplug you. So we just kind of kicking around the different things and whatever. Pedro, what kind of how did it work in the Boyd house?
Oh well, it kind of goes back to Santa Claus and
I am the Easter Bunny. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So my oldest sibling, which is my oldest sister, when she was like 7, so I may not have even been born at this time because my parents had like 6 kids, so I'm like the youngest of 6 kids. So when she was 7, my dad told her that Santa Claus wasn't real.
God, your dad, man.
That's horrible.
What the hell's wrong with your dad?
Yeah, I'm saying, man. I hate to be in your house at Christmas time. Oh, fucking humbug, man. What's up with that?
And well,
who is your dad, the Honorable Minister Louis?
Yeah.
Don't you give credit for your hard-earned presents to these children to some big fat-ass white man.
Yeah. And those elves work for the white man. Don't do that.
I did not mean to bury my dad. I apologize.
Brutal.
But I mean, he told my oldest sister that Santa Claus wasn't real, and so in turn, she made sure none of us growing up knew believed in Santa Claus. So like I never got to think Santa Claus was real because my oldest sister made sure none of us believed he was real because of my dad and all that stuff.
That's
And
horrible.
so in turn with pro wrestling, like when my brother and I started watching it, like they were like, it's not real. It's not real. This is not real. Like so there is never a moment I got to know that where I was like, this is real. There are plenty of moments I've gotten wrapped up in it, as we know. The mark out person, but
Yeah, but you're always looking in from the outside.
yeah, like I never was like this is real.
Yeah, you were never plugged in.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I was
what
plugged
about
in
y'all?
because when your grandmother starts you watching wrestling at age 3, you don't know any better.
I'm
Especially
still bugging out on
especially
Santa Claus not being real.
the way my grandmother was about it. I mean, she was, she would get loud and excited, when the matches would get good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when it was,
That's exactly how I was brought up, Zeus. That's exactly how
yeah.
I was.
I mean,
Yeah, that's exactly how I was
when
brought up.
Ricky Steamboat and Paul Jones were out there kicking ass. Oh
Paul
man,
Jones. Oh my God, I
yeah.
used to love Paul Jones. He's awesome.
And so, but I remember, you always hear from people that didn't watch wrestling. You always hear people say it's fake. And
Yeah, I'll slap that figure 4 on you. Okay, yeah. Please tell me
right.
it's fake after you can't walk for half an hour. Go ahead.
And but it was the thing where you say, you're sitting there and it comes over the news, the national news, that Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Iron Sheik, were
Busted.
arrested with marijuana, drunken driving down the highway from like New Jersey to fucking somewhere.
On
And
995,
that was
yeah.
like at the
On the
time
turnpike.
when they were, feuding heavily in WWF, and it's like,
You're like, they're in the same car? What?
yes,
Like, they must have been fighting the entire time.
right. Oh yeah, it must have been, yeah. There must have been some really good drugs, huh?
Yeah, there must have been, like 2x4 steering wheels, car radios flying all over the place. How can they travel when they're mortal enemies? What's going
Yeah.
on?
And as I don't know if I've mentioned it on the podcast, but we had this restaurant called China City, and a lot of the wrestlers would go there after the matches. And Mr. Yee was such a big wrestling fan. Well, he would take pictures of the wrestlers, before or after they were eating. It was right there in the little lobby area that they had. And there was one picture, and it was Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, and Dusty Rhodes.
Wait a minute. How can Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes take a picture? They're enemies, damn it!
Damn it.
It was from about 1984, 85. During Flair's heel run.
Excuse me.
So, yeah, I mean, that was just
Stunned.
the some of those little things, and then and then the slow motion on VCRs.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you can see kind of people. It's like,
Yeah.
people jumping into things, and then, like, I tell you one thing though, where it's like I'm trying to push myself back into the bubble after the fallout from Hacksaw and Iron Sheik, was I rationalized that WWF was fake, but everything else was still real, because it was easy to say, because Hulk Hogan was such a, his whole thing was so bullshit anyway. You know,
Who would name their kid Hulk?
because they would actively change the rules. They were changing the rules for Hogan.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Like he would throw guys out over the top rope.
Yeah,
It's
it's supposed to be disqualification.
Going, hey, that's a disqualification.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't disqualify Hulk Hogan every match he was in. And you obviously couldn't stop him from doing it.
No.
So they just omitted that rule in that whole thing. He also, he could take a foreign object. He'd no sell a foreign object. Hit where, forever and a day. If a mass superstar, if he loaded his mask and head butted you with his loaded mask, well, it didn't matter who you were, you went down, you got pinned, you got beat. But Hulk Hogan, he get that stupid look on his face, and he shakes, and then he come back and win. It's like, no, it's like that. It's like, you don't understand. You're fucking shit up for everybody else.
It's so funny. That's how you mentioned the age of the VCR, Zeus. Yeah, because you're absolutely right. I was watching the old VCR tape with Johnny Rod. It was like a WWE jobber fucking mania, like all these jobbers want a videotape. I don't know what tape I had, but I was watching Johnny Rod's, and it was some guy. He was wrestling some jobber, and he threw the most pathetic drop kick I've ever seen in my life. It barely got above his waistline, and when Johnny Rod sold it, he grabbed his face. And I'm like, wait a minute. He kicked him on the belt buckle, and then he's grabbing his jaw to sell it. I'm like, that is horrible.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And I was like, he didn't hit him there. I was like, what's wrong with these people, Now, I have a little bit of a different take on things. I was in 7th grade, and I was really good friends with a really nice girl, and I would help her with her homework. She would help me with my homework and stuff like that. Actually, her name was Carol Ephraim. And Howard Ephraim's father, his name was Conrad Ephraim, a.k.a. SD Special Delivery Jones.
Holy moly.
Gosh. Yeah. So she would tell me, don't let anybody tell you it's fake. She would always tell me, you always protect it, because it was like her father would tell her. You always protect the business. Always protect it. You always protect it. It's not fake. It's she made it sound like it was a big secret society. Everybody had their own jobs to do, and everybody had to protect the secret of the business from everybody else who didn't believe. So I was brought into that. I was like, yeah, you're right, Carol, you're right. And it was weird because I would hear stories from her. She would tell me things about how Tony Atlas got wasted one day, he got fucked up, and he lost one half of the tag team belts. And then, like 3 weeks later, I would see them on the WWE TV, and they would have the tag team belts, and one looked old, and the other belt looked new. I was like, look at that. She was right,
Yeah.
So, I was like, well, somebody fucked up there, So, I mean, she would tell me all these crazy things that would go on, her wild parties that her father threw. And
wow.
Yeah, and but her main thing was always, everybody protects everybody. Everybody protects the secret. I'm like, okay. So I go home and I'm watching wrestling, and my stepfather was like, that's all fake. That's all bullshit, huh? I'm like, you know what? How about if I headbutt you? And then, you know what? Go fuck off, I was pissed off. And, how dare you say this is fake, So I was dying to put him in a Cobra Clutch. So, yeah, go ahead. Here. And so I got so tired of fighting everybody that was fake that I started listening to Carol. And I was like, it's not fake. It's a protected secret. And then I had people started actually listening. Like, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. I'm like, yeah, it's like a circus, We all know it's not real, you all know that the lady's not getting Ashley's sword in half, but yet here you are watching.
And that's exactly what it came from. I mean,
Right.
the word kayfabe is a Carney word.
Exactly. And and so I was never had the illusion broken. I mean, I still have Budweiser, by the way. Oh, that's not beer. That's like piss water. But again, I digress. I see all these commercials. Budweiser, the king of beers. Oh yeah, I can't wait to get one. Oh, what is this? No. But I was, it was like always. I was always telling people it's not fake. It's protected. It's protected. It's a secret. And then everybody started listening to that, and everybody started making sense to people. I would argue with my parents for hours. That's not fake. I want to go to Madison Square Garden. I'm not throwing away money. Yeah, but you go see the goddamn circus and the elephants take a shit in the middle of the ring, right? No. I want to go to Madison Square Garden. I want to see WWF. I want to see George the Animal Steel and Hulk Hogan and Big John Studd and Jimmy Superfly Snuka and the Magnificent Muraco. I don't want to see a 2,000-pound elephant take a shit in the middle of a fucking place. No. So,
who was it? It was Angie that she brought up the, the Montreal screw job and the, and the click, the click thing, that happened, about a year or so before that, where, in Madison Square Garden, like you were talking about, I mean, they all got together and hugged at the end.
Yeah.
When Hall and Nash were leaving.
Yeah.
And
Angie brought up a good point. Yeah, it was like after the Montreal screw job, everything changed.
Yeah.
But it even changed before that. I remember when Vince McMahon, I believe it was 1989. He was in front of the, he was in front of the, he was in front of the. I think it was the New Jersey State Senate, and he had to admit that it was entertainment.
Well, he didn't want to pay the athletic commission's money.
Right, exactly. So he had to admit it was entertainment. These are trained professionals, so.
And I tell you, even at that point, I was still pushing, saying, "See, I told you WWF is fake. NWA is still real." But the great thing about
Ric Flair is real. Hulk Hogan was fake.
It's like we know it's a show. It's show business. It's on TV. It's like stop saying stupid shit like it's fake. Like, look, it's a hell of a lot more realistic than 5 fucking idiots living in some great fucking quote unquote rent controlled apartments down in freaking Soho and getting by as a starving actor, a guy that does something with stats, a waitress and a starving chef. It's like, look, come on. Oh, and some girl that sings about smelly cat.
Yeah.
Like, look, stop. That's a hell of a lot more unrealistic than pro wrestling ever was.
You can't afford to live in Soho if you work in a coffee shop, okay? Trust me.
Oh, and not to mention, Seinfeld's building is 30 blocks away from that coffee shop.
Yeah,
he lives on 128th Street. That coffee shop is like on 98th Street.
The actual coffee shop is run by Columbia University. The actual coffee shop is run by Columbia University.
That building and then walk around the corner into that restaurant. That's a half-hour drive.
Yeah.
That's a whole show about nothing, being stuck in the cab trying to get to your fucking coffee shop.
Yeah, but I've been to that coffee shop a million times. Yeah, and they got all these pictures of the Seinfeld cast, and everybody that comes in. I'm
but you don't yell at Seinfeld and George and go, "Hey, that was fake."
Yeah, exactly. Who shot JR? Nobody shot JR. He's alive, you fucks. I mean, come on. I mean,
it's a weird like double standard or whatever. Like they're like,
I used to call it the male soap opera. It was the male soap opera. It was General Hospital for boys. We
all like to get lost in our entertainment. Like, so it's where they shit on people for getting into the wrestling. Like, that's fake. That's not real. It's like, well, like you said, none of this stuff you're watching is real.
I thought the NWA was real until I saw Scott Steiner, and then I was like, oh well, there it is. You know.
Oh, what?
I mean,
Hey. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I know Steiner math.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, Insane Bob's Crazy Shack. He mentioned, I still think All Japan and UWFI are kind of real, which reminds.
All Japan was fucking no joke.
This reminds me. So I had a thing on Twitter yesterday asking people for their moments and stuff to prep for this episode, and by Lucha.
Yeah, he went in.
He gave us a very insightful thread on Japan and kayfabe, and I thought I'd read from his tweets.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So
hit that up.
These are Lucha's words on all this. Okay, so he says, "I'm reflecting on this. I think to me it wasn't one big glass-shattering moment, but gradual shift, accumulation of info, etc. Also, this particular Japanese situation of New Japan W type Puroresu is real martial arts thing, affected fans' views overall back then. If you were a gone off the cliff Inoki purist, excuse me. I asked him for more thoughts and asked if All Japan was viewed as less real than New Japan. And he said, if you were a gone off the cliff Inoki purist, I say yes. I think the key word for New Japan fans intent on trashing All Japan was stronger. Like when Hansen moved to All Japan and doing 1-minute squashes with mid-card guys, it proves New Japan is stronger. Yeah. All this is funny. Yeah. Wrestling is fake. Exposés in Japan had been there even going back to the 50s. But none of it gained traction, so to speak. Even Sayama's 1985 book, Kayfabe, Media, Main and Puro, was kind of like letting it slide. Even Sayama's book was kind of compatible with the idea of Puro being real, and that he called for Puro to become real martial arts. And nobody complained UWF or All Japan 4 Pillars as fake or staged. I think it was 2001, Mr. Takahashi's expose book really sold well, and that was when commentators, active wrestlers really started talking, mostly to attack Takahashi at the time, when decline of Puroresu, rise of MMA type in Japan was being talked about. That's a rough overview of public reception thing personally. When I saw on TV Joe Malenko adjust British Bulldog's chin lock into a sleeper, I thought, oh, I see. So that looks more realistic. But that's Mount Lucha's thread.
Well, everybody thought that Puroresu was real. Everybody thought. I mean, I certainly did. I'm like, hey, don't fuck with All Japan because that's real. It's all Puroresu wrestling. It's all real. And you didn't think, you were like, yeah, I'll watch Hulk Hogan, but I want to see him go to All Japan. I want to see him get his ass kicked. And then here comes Stan Hansen, and he blew everything up. He blew everything up, and he was having the 1-minute squash matches and stuff like that, and he was killing everybody. And at the time, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. But in my mind, because it was Tyler's Puroresu, it was real. It was real in my book. It was real. You just don't want to mess with those all guys. All those guys from All Japan, because it's no joke. It's real. I mean, I didn't want to see Ric Flair go over to All Japan because I don't want to get hurt. No, I don't want to see him get hurt because those guys were no joke. And then the whole thing with Tiger Mask, and then they found out that it was like 11 guys under the mask, and this, that, and the third, and everybody started saying this, that, and then Black Tiger with Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero, and then everybody's like, oh, okay, and but it's are we better for not knowing kayfabe? Are we better for not knowing, or is it better when it was the worst kept secret?
Well, I mean, I think when you were younger, like we were,
I mean, it worked, but it's just one of those things you got to kind of, it just kind of comes in and it says, you know, life just kind of takes over and you figure it out. And
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention, that, 93, 94, 95, as UFC's, started to, really pick up steam and then Pride and everything. And you start to see,
Yeah, Pride. I remember Pride.
you
Yeah.
start to see guys who are pro wrestlers, fighting in these fights.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, well, why does, Josh Burnett, why didn't it hurt anybody's face when he punches him in pro wrestling, but why does it break somebody's nose and bust somebody's lip when he punches him in the face in Pride?
Yeah. That's a good point.
I mean, it's there's problems all over the place, and it kind of also says about like how Cornette, when he gets upset about whatever the latest thing is, penis plex, or whatever it is that he doesn't like, that in the last 20 years that he hadn't liked, it's like,
yeah, he gave us the Unabomber. He should just shut the hell up, okay?
I mean, it's like everything that, he's one of those kind of people. He really just needs to say, okay, look, it's TV. It's not pro wrestling anymore. Pro wrestling really did kind of die in 89, and I mean, it's just, now we just have to look at it as it's a TV show and just get over it.
I feel a bit like the internet sort of killed wrestling in terms of that kayfabe way more than the 1989 thing.
Faster, definitely did it faster.
Yeah, faster, definitely. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Zeus. Yeah, I totally agree, Pedro. Yeah, definitely the internet had a big hand, and it just totally killed kayfabe.
I mean, because
spoilers hurt a lot too.
Yeah,
spoilers. Learning that there's like all this political
in the age
stuff,
of the shoot interviews.
Yep.
And the age of the shoot interviews. Everybody and their mother was doing a shoot interview on YouTube all of a sudden, Oh, this didn't really happen. This is what really happened backstage. Blah, 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 blah. And that kills kayfabe.
Have you ever seen shoot interviews from like the same guy from like, a couple of years later and he'll contradict himself?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the time. All the time.
I think like when, like they should never have started doing those one-on-one. They should have been, like collaborations, like, with the guy. Because I mean, when you see them talking together, like there was one. It was like, might have been like Lance Storm and Jericho or something. And he was like, hey, remember when we did this and this and this? And he's like, oh, yeah, but remember, we didn't do that then. We did this then, and we did that the other time. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then remember, we did it. It's like, wow, it's like your own memory had betrayed you.
I have to point out something real quick. In the chat, I said Zero said that LU is the only place where, kayfabe exists anymore. I totally agree, because you have to buy in.
Exactly.
You actually have to buy in. You have to believe there's a reptile tribe and a rabbit tribe and the worldwide underground and this tribe and that tribe and this, that, and the third. And like a guy with time travel and an actor on a cheesy commercial who was dead and now comes back as his father. You have to believe all of that. So I totally agree about kayfabe. Yeah.
And also along those lines, the internet sort of revealing the backstage politics kind of went from people, even if we knew it wasn't, quote unquote real or whatever, we went from being like we just accepted whatever decisions were made. We didn't think about it to being like, oh, this is only happening because this asshole.
I totally agree. Yeah,
and suddenly people start being like, I want things to be our way. Why aren't they listening to us? And it's like,
well, that was all brought to the forefront, because Angie mentioned on Twitter about the whole thing with the Montreal screw job.
Yeah.
And that brought the whole backstage politics. Everything out in the open. I'm not going to job to this guy. I refuse to job to that guy. I don't want to get put over in this day. I'm not going to put them over in my country, this country, that place, or whatever. I never lost in this arena, blah, 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 blah. And it exposed everything. All the backstage politics came out. And then you heard about the NWO, how everybody had creative control over the character. Hogan, I don't have to, I didn't even have to show up and wrestle. I still get paid, and all that shit started coming out, and it just got ugly for a while. It was ugly, and then here comes Lucha Underground, where it says we know it's fake, but yet if you want to enjoy this show, you have to believe. But yet it is fake, but you have to believe. So it forces you to say, okay, I believe in kayfabe again. I'm going to believe in a rabbit tribe. I'm going to believe in a reptile tribe, and you fall into it, and that's how you work the kayfabe now, and it's done to perfection by Lucha Underground. That's right. How you do it.
You're right, James, because they framed it as like it's just a regular TV show.
Right, exactly.
They don't sell it to you like wrestling. They're like, this is a TV show. So yeah, then it works because everyone accepts a TV show. I mean,
right? That's how the kayfabe works. Yeah.
If you tell people, hey, wrestling, they're like, that's fake. If you're like, hey, a drama, they're like, oh, who's in it?
Right? Exactly. What? Who's this tired Johnny Mundo? Who are these characters? Who is that boy with the doll? Who is that girl in the ring? Like who is that man with the crazy eye? I mean, who is that? I've never heard of a vampiro. Does he suck blood? I'm like, what's going on here? And everybody's sucked in. Because it doesn't take itself seriously. It says it is what it is. Yes, it's fake, but here it is. You have to look into your own imagination to enjoy the show. And all of us, as fans of Lucha Underground, do. We put all the bullshit of the old NWA, the old WWF, XYZ all on the shelf, and we accept Lucha Underground, and we take it in, and we love it, and it has done us no wrong. Thank God for Lucha Underground. And thank God for Mariposa. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we could talk a long time on this stuff, but I know.
I thought it was a great episode for all the women. All the women were awesome. Eva Lee's, Taya, Cobra Moon, Mariposa. Everybody had. All the women in the episode last week had such awesome spots. They were all great, man. They were all great. That's how you do women and women's wrestling. Not Mae Young Classics. You involve them in actual storylines.
Just to look, here's the thing. It's like, stop using the stupid word intergender wrestling.
Thank you, Zeus. Thank you, Zeus.
Just use the word wrestling.
Yes, I totally agree.
Other wrestlers. That's
right. It's one belt. Here, all is welcome to it.
If you can't buy into it, then don't watch it.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. If you can make a good story, wrestlers should wrestle other wrestlers. Doesn't matter. The word intergender is stupid.
I totally agree with you, Zeus. 100%. 100%. I have a belt. If you want to come get it, I don't give a shit if you're red, white, black, blue, exolicious, male, female. It doesn't matter. If you want to come get it,
Amen, brother.
That's it.
Amen.
That's it. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right.
So now Pedro's going to sing Madonna's Material Girl for us on the way out.
I want to say what's up to everybody in the chat. Zero, Insane Bob's Crazy Shack, YYHH, and Melissa. Thanks for hanging out. And Flues Maker. I fuck up your name more times than God knows what, but it's all good.
Also, shout out to Way Too Real and the MMM show.
MMM and Way Too Real Lucha Party. Yes, sir.
Thanks to Zero and Mount Lucha for bringing the content for us to read.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, that was fantastic.
Definitely. You know what? That's some really good stuff,
for adding to our little doodad here.
Yeah, man. Hey, always good stuff. Always good stuff from you guys, man. Always.
So we're gonna wrap it up. So we'll see y'all next week. Adios.
Peace, love, and lucha.